Welcome back to Turning Hard Times into Good Times. I'm your host, Jay Taylor, and I'm really glad to be with Nav Dhaliwal again. He's the president and CEO of Gatling Exploration. He's here to introduce that story. Gatling is a sponsor of this show. We're very pleased about that, and I'm very pleased to tell you that I took advantage of a little weakness in the stock today to pick up some more personally. It is a recommendation in my newsletter. Nav Dhaliwal and lead geologist Dale Ginn have been a successful team in the past. I followed them through another company, Bonterra. They were very successful, and then at one point the financiers stepped in and decided they want to take the company in a different direction. They merged in a struggling producer in Quebec, and the emphasis on the great deposit that Dale and Nav were building was de-emphasized. Nav moved on with Dale to Gatling, and I'm really pleased to tell you that I'm really happy to have Nav with us today. Thanks for joining me, Nav.
I appreciate it, Jay. It's always a pleasure, and thanks for the intro there.
Yeah, it was I was really, quite frankly, as an investor, very disappointed that they took the company in a different direction. But I guess the people had the money; they could do what they wanted to do. But you guys were on to building a very substantial deposit there, I know. And then all of a sudden, everything got quiet, and you weren't talking about it. Now you and Dale are back with the Larder project in Ontario, just across the border from Quebec. This is your first time talking about this story, so just tell us a little bit about that deposit. You already have close to 1 million ounces, even before you started working on it. 4 to 5.5 grams, somewhere in that range, is the average grade. But what can you tell us about what you have now and what the prospects are for building on this deposit?
Absolutely, Jay, and yeah, to expand on that, that's right. We're going to do it again. We get out there, we find the right assets, and we raise the capital, put the right people together, and get to work. Because at the end of the day, the drill bit's got to talk to us and show them that our theories of what we're seeing here is panning out. So with Gatling, when we took a look at this was part of a package that we picked up while we were there, and we spun this out as we exited ourselves out of Bonterra. And so this is how Gatling was conceived. It was a spin out. It wasn't an RTO or anything else like that. So what we did was, back in the day, with Dale Ginn and myself and the rest of the team, we were looking at this Cadillac Larder Fault, looking for the next, potential of building out a multi-ounce deposit. And right next door to Nico Eagle's Queenston project, which in 2016, they were JV'd with Yamana, and they had bought out Yamana for $180 million. So this is now one of Nico Eagle's biggest exploration projects that they're working on in Canada. We have now buttoned up, and when I say buttoned up, we've consolidated the eastern trend of this Cadillac Larder Fault. And what we've done is put together 3 deposits: the Bear Lake deposit, the Chemanis deposit, and the Fernland. Now, all 3 of these deposits historically, Jay, were looked upon independently. Nobody looked at them as cohesive, like, is there mineralization through this? Is this just one big deposit? So we put these 3 deposits together, and sure enough, in just recent news releases, when we started off back in earlier part of this year with a 10,000-meter drill program, very quickly bumped that up to 35,000, because when we get at it, we want to, definitely keep at it. And why we were keeping at it is the success that we were having at the drill bit. Again, doing what we do best. We known that there was a 43-101 of 917,000 ounces inferred at 5.5 grams per ton. And that's primarily on the Bear Lake deposit. And that work was comprised by Goldfields, who did a $40 million auction back in 2010 on the Bear Lake deposit. And in 2012, as we know, Goldfields shut down all their exploration and focused on their production. They left us with $6 million worth of work, 31,000 meters of drilling that was on, including that 43-101. So we're expanding on that. And quickly, from all that data and all the work, and Goldfield does impeccable work, we've quickly looked at the model, and again, 200-meter step out at depth, we've hit. Just recently, we've shown that there's mineralization connecting the Bear Lake and Chemainus deposit together. So we've connected 2 of the 3 deposits already. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we've aggressively upped our campaign to 35,000 meters. We intend on having that done in the early part of January. So again, we'll be rolling over to continue on drilling. Going back again to really consolidate the northern part of our land package, we did a deal with Teck. Teck spent over $2 million getting their property, and that property was connected or on the same trend as the Nico Eagles Upper Beaver deposit. So it kind of made sense for us being the only junior, especially this is a good point to make out to the audience, Jay, we're the only junior in the area working. We're not competing for dollars. We're not competing for that attention. With the share, with our shares outstanding, we're a very tight structure. We've got cash in the bank, and we're continuing to drill out. So there's a lot of upside for not only the company, but everybody involved and people looking to get involved. As you mentioned, the share price has depressed a bit here, but again, with more news that we intend on putting out here in short order, we see a quick turnaround on our stock.
Yeah. Dude, so you're finding the connection between these 3 different deposits that have been discovered in the past. Have you put out some information, some drill results from you just talked about going down 200 meters deeper, and the connect. You've put out some drill results from that, Nav?
Absolutely. We put out everything that I've mentioned here in our interview has been out in the public forum now. Again, the 200-meter step-outs that we've done at depth on showing the continuity of the actual deposit. And then further from that, just recently, we had a strike length of, I believe, 42 meters of 1.5 grams, showing that mineralization does go between the Bear and the Chemainus deposit. So again, we're very encouraged. We're continuing to drill out there. Again, we have not stopped. So there's an abundance of news flow that's going to be happening with Gatling here, and I would expect that you'll start seeing that news flow in the early part of the new year as we're starting to wind down this year, but winding down in the market sense. The company itself, let me state, is not winding down. We are continuing to move the needle by continuing having these drills spinning out there.
How much distance between these three deposits that have been recognized in the past? I mean, what sort of strike length between the 3?
Yeah, no, and thanks. Sometimes when I get going, my excitement kind of gets the better of me. But to back it up, joining these 3 deposits will show a 4.5 kilometer strike. And what we've accomplished to date already, we've already aggressively proven out 2 kilometers of that 4.5. And again, there's a lot more drilling for us to do, and a lot more. There's a lot more to be excited about here in short order.
Well, in the past, in fact, right to the east of where you are, you have what's the Kerr Addison mine that was some 10 million ounces that graded 10.5 million ounces that graded 10 grams per ton. Do you see this as the same? This is the same system?
We've got the same system, and that's what we're drilling off. Right. It's the same system, that Cadillac Larder Fault there. And you're right, and thank you for pointing that out. Kerr Addison was one of the more profitable, more economical deposits in Canada. It was such high grade and such a tight package to mine that's similar to what we're drilling out with these 3 deposits currently.
You mentioned... Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just going to mention also. With that being said, this is an area, a proven out gold camp that's been around for decades now, where the infrastructure is there for us. Gatling has patented ground, so we're not working exclusively on mining leases. The power, water, everything is there. Our community relations. That's something that's very important for me when I get into an area, is to definitely get out there and reach out to the communities first and foremost. So we've checked all the boxes as investors want to look at companies. Have they done their due diligence? Have they, gone out and, like I just mentioned, checked all the boxes of, jurisdiction and are they financed? Do they have the team? Do they have the resources? We've checked all the boxes off for our shareholders here. And being in Canada, one of the more safer jurisdictions in the world right now, as we can see what's happening, I believe that, the gold deposits are just, they'll be worth a lot more in the near future. Just seeing how, we're a proactive mining country and money's safe here.
Well, no doubt about that. So I know this is probably too early to answer this question definitively, but you have these 3 high-grade deposits, essentially, that have been established in the past. Now, you're mentioning that there's some probably lower grades. It hasn't been drilled that much, but you've proven the continuity with a lower grade in between 2 of these. Do you think, is the concept here that this may be one major deposit? Or will it be will it be 3 high-grade deposits? Or I know it's too early to say definitively, but what is the concept?
Well, exactly. In our theory going into this is that we see it, and with Dale and Nathan and Carly, our geologists, our geo team that's looking at this, we believe there is continuity throughout it all. Now, you're correct in stating that it is early days. We intend on doing a lot more. We've got 35,000 meters. To us, before we start looking at this, we got to put another 100,000 meters plus of drilling down there, doing what we do. Jay, as you've seen before, we drill it out, we interpret the data. So as of right now, we see this low mineralization, but it's showing that there is mineralization. And now you're going to see these plungy shooty, these roddy type high grade that will be shooting through. So that's what we're targeting now, and seeing if there is continuity through the high grade, or you're just seeing these big shoots of these high grade shoots again, as I was just mentioning. But right now it's early days, and we want to continue to drill it out. And as we continue to drill it out, we can build out the model as well. But we're pretty confident, though, that we have 4.5 kilometers here.
I suppose when you talk about checking the boxes, metallurgy is probably the same as what is already known, because there's been mining and a lot of work done on this, and it's the same system, as you say, all the way over to Curry-Addison. So I guess right. The metallurgy is another box that you've checked. Not completely yet. You'll have to do more work, of course. But that's it. Well, I wanted to ask you also, what about, you said you have money. How much do you have, and how far will that take you? When do you think you'll have to raise again?
No, absolutely. And as you know, that we're junior explorers, and it's about definitely monitoring the balance sheet and making sure we're getting productivity out of it. So currently, right now, we're about $3 million. That's going to put us into the early part of next year as we put out some more results and kind of show the investing community what we've been doing with the drilling that we've done. And I think in the second quarter of next year, we'd look to bring on some solid investors alongside with us and kind of move it forward. As it sits right now, we are looking at the value. There is a lot of value be created for existing shareholders or shareholders that are listening now and looking to get involved in junior gold explorers. I can't emphasize enough to the investing community. You're looking at a company that we've got a balance sheet, we're drilling, we're active, we're in the right jurisdiction. We're the only junior in this area, and we're starting off not just greenfields. We've got just under 1 million ounces sitting there, and right now, currently, our market cap's about $25 million. I can't emphasize enough for people to take a look at this.
Well, no doubt about it. And in a gold bull market, which I think we're in, and today, of course, is encouraging me to think that's probably right. It is certainly worth a good look. And then always important, of course, you'll have a constant flow of drill results coming out in the next number of weeks, going into the spring, I guess, right? So
Absolutely, Jay, and that's what really that's what we've always been known for, is keeping the market investing community and everybody involved apprised of the work that we're doing, not just showcasing some historical workings. Of course, people understand we got historical, but that's what we're known for. We get out there and we work our ground, and we wanted to work it the best and the most efficiently way that we can.
All right, very good. Well, we'll have to leave it go at that. Thank you very much, Nav, for being with us, and we'll look to keep up with this story as more drill results come out. Thank you so much.
Always appreciate it. Thank you, Jay.